You're welcome to the details now. Today is going to be very heavy. The bulletin is going to be very heavy on what's happening in Parliament. Of course, the voting process that has begun this morning. As we told you previously, Senior Minister Designate Yao Osafo-Maafo has been grilled for a few hours about what his plans are when it comes to transforming the economy. They've been asking him what exactly his role entails. And of course, he's been telling them it entails coordinating all the economic affairs of the country. This is an excerpt from the vetting process that just started today.
I, Yao Osafo-Maafo,
swear by Almighty God.
Swear by Almighty God.
That the evidence I shall give before this committee.
That the evidence I shall give before this committee.
Touching the matter in issue.
Touching the matter in issue.
Shall be the truth.
Shall be the truth.
The whole truth.
The whole truth.
And nothing but the truth.
And nothing but the truth.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Honorable Yao Osafo-Maafo, on behalf of the committee, I wish to congratulate you on your nomination by the President to the position of Senior Minister of his government. May I start by asking you to give us a short brief of yourself.
Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, I was born on the 24th of December 1942 at Achimewisa, educated at the Presbyterian Primary and Boarding School at Achimewisa, then at Achimota School for O and A levels, Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology for my engineering degree in mechanical engineering, worked at Valco as a process and quality control engineer, left Valco to join now the Ghana Investment Center as an investment promotion officer, later taken to Frankfurt as the director of Ghana Investment Center, came back to Ghana after that period and joined the Bank for House and Construction there as the chief manager in charge of operations. Rose through the ranks to become the managing director of the bank, 1979. Later, was taken to the National Investment Bank as a managing director. Later, I became member of parliament for Achimota constituency, in opposition in the beginning, and still as member of parliament for Achimota, I became the Minister of Finance and Economic Planning, Minister of Education and Sports. I'm a very strong football enthusiast. In between, I became director of Asante Kotoko and very much closely associated with the method.
Have you by chance seen the National 40-Year Development Plan?
I was involved in the preliminary discussions of the 40-year development plan. In fact, I was consulted in the matter in the discussions. I made my view clear from day one that I did not believe in planning in excess of 10 years because of stringencies of world economics. And therefore, I would prefer that we restrict ourselves to a 10-year development plan. And I gave some specific notes of mine, particularly in the infrastructure side. Dr. Nimoy Thompson, who was working on this, called me a couple of times to talk about things, but I haven't seen the final outcome of the 40-year development plan. But I've had some input into it relating to infrastructure, relating to what I called the blood for this system, which is power, which is energy. I feel very strongly about sufficiency of energy to run every country. So I gave my views about it. I haven't seen the final product.
Mr. Fomafo, you contributed to the formulation of the policy, but you haven't seen the final document. Government is continuous. Your government and your president has said he will want to pursue the sum of the lofty agendas of the preceding government. The basis of economic development in the 40-year development plan is supposed to be, as you said, coordinated by your outfit. If you haven't seen the document, how are you to effectively coordinate these ministries? And what do you think the National Development Plan, the 40-year development plan, seeks to achieve?
I think I said I had some input. In fact, they met the whole caucus of the NPP in our headquarters to discuss initially the 40-year development plan. The Vice President and myself expressed our views on the length of time about it. Now that we are in power, we're surely going to have a critical look at that program. We're not going to swallow it hook and eye, certainly not. As I said, I made my view clear that I do not believe in planning beyond 10 years, and I still stand by that. We'll look at the 40-year plan. It's important that every country like Ghana should have a long-term planning, particularly with respect to infrastructure, so that there will be continuity. So we'll definitely look at it, and where modifications are necessary, we'll make it after thinking through. Those who originated it are in the country, and I believe in consultation. We will talk to them here and there to make sure that we are singing from the same hymn sheet.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Honorable.
So those are excerpts from today's vetting of Mr. Yao Osafo-Maafo, who has been nominated to be senior minister in the Akufo-Addo administration. Shortly, we'll be going back to Parliament to, watch the vetting process, of course, of Ken Ofori-Atta, who is Minister Designate for Finance, and Mr. Kandapa, who is Minister Designate for Security, and of course, Dominic Nitiwo, Minister Designate for Defense. In the meantime, though, there have been some interesting reaction to the previous vetting. I'm talking about the vetting of Mr. Yao Osafo-Maafo. And so we can go over to Parliament and have a look at the reaction. What are some of the members on the committee that are vetting, the committee that is vetting Mr. Osafo-Maafo? What have they been saying about the process so far? After that, as soon as it's Ken Ofori-Atta's vetting begins, we'll bring that to you live as well. Watch this.
It's important that for nominees who have held public office before, there is a certain expectation from the general public and from we as members of the committee, as members of parliament, from our constituents, that we will also assess them on their stewardship, matters that transpired when they were in office, things that came to their attention, and how they handled those matters. And that is why I went into his record. I did say that he has paid his dues to Ghana. He has served this country to the best of his abilities. But there were matters that came up which are critical matters, because for this nominee, he's coming back coordinating the economic sector, that same sector which he headed as Minister of Finance. You had a situation where 3 major scandals happened under his watch. The IFC loan, which turned out to be a scam loan, the CNTCI loan, which turned out to be a scam loan, and the Macmillan textbook scandal. I think that he was quite dismissive and wanting initially to play on my age, that I must have been in school and all. That does not matter. And I think that we should take the young people of this country more seriously. Yes, I defer to him in age. He's a man who has enormous experience, very elderly person. We respect our senior citizens, but can we have mutual respect? Can senior citizens also respect young ones? Can we all respect each other? I think that is how we should proceed in this country. The question had nothing to do with my age or whether I was in school or not. And I thought that that was unfortunate. But it's good that he apologized and retracted, and I accept it. I accept his apology. I have no hate and I bear no grudge, no ill feeling towards him. But what is important is that he needs to assure this committee and the good people of this country that those matters that happen under his watch will not recur. Will not recur. That is what is important. We don't want him coordinating and supervising the sourcing of scam loans. We don't want a situation where they attempt to start a textbook procurement, sign an agreement in July before they go to the Public Procurement Authority in August. So it means that the Public Procurement Authority, according to the report and according to if I'd been given time. And another challenge I have is with the format. So you are allowed only 3 questions. You are not allowed a follow-up, because I was not impressed with the response he gave. It is not enough to say that for the textbook scandal, because of the Daily Dispatch expose, the publication. And by the way, I wasn't happy how he tried to treat Ghanaian newspapers.
The member of the committee there, Okujetu Ablakwa, speaking about his own thoughts about the process and how it has gone.